Welcome back to One Hub Racing. This is season 16, sponsored by Next Level Racing, and we are here for round number 2 for the position tier here at Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. Sorry about the delay. Unfortunately, Luke, who was meant to be streaming today's internet, died, and there's no backup streamers available for tonight. So, guess who you've got? You've got me standing in. Hello, I'm Jess. And joining me joining the position tier commentary box, just like last week, we have got a prospect tier driver, Matt. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Good to be here with you in this box. And let's get everyone in. Khalifa's gone quickest in the early stages of this session. But it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, we had a really good race last week with Danestar winning with 25 points to his name, and he said he was really confident going into last week. He's currently second at the moment on the standings with a 127.9, and he potentially finds France quite easy to invalidate, but he's set a lap time so far, so he's got the likes of Janel challenging him for the championship as it seemed this season, as he's P2 as well, so he could be the first to potentially defend a position tier title. We'll have to wait and see, of course.
Yeah, it's always relatively unknown in these early stages of qualifying, but as you say, we'll find out as we go. But just checking over the data, and Ivana's broke his wing, so he's probably going to box shortly.
Yep, he is. He is going to box, I think, shortly as well. Ivan, obviously podium tier champion last season, or Hannon, and he was actually quite happy with the result last week. I was actually speaking to him last week, and he was expecting top 10, and he's expecting top 10 this week as well. He's 7th in the standings, and he's I think the podium tier champion curse is broken by the looks of it, as for round number 1, of course, but for round number 2 he's 13th. But looking at the times, it is incredibly close between P1 to P13 right now, separating by just a second. And imagine what the top tier is going to be like in about 30 minutes' time when it's like this.
Yeah, just to add on that, with the pre-race interviews, Lukey himself says that he expects it to be closer because this entire tier is very close, and so far he's been proven right. He's 12th, and he's less than a second behind the leader. That is quite sensational pace all the way down the field.
Yeah, Lukey, of course, obviously the tier coordinator, he's looking to score some more points. He was actually runner-up of the position tier last in season 14, but, you know, that's probably why he was not expecting to be higher up so far. And last season, there was high expectation for him. He was looking to challenge for the title, but this season, his expectations is quite low. So, you know, expect him to be just under the radar just for a little bit as well. As I'm just trying to find someone on board going on a lap as Khalifa goes fast again. And wow, look at Sam Thompson's P2, 127.9 out of nowhere. He's just beaten both Danestar and Janel. Unfortunately, Sam couldn't race last week because he had internet issues. Unfortunately, he was AI, I believe, for most of it, as far as I'm aware.
He was, yeah.
Yep, he was. So this is technically his first race of the season. So high expectation for him, because obviously he was not in where he wanted to be in qualifying last week. Or it may be low expectation. We'll have to wait and see as J-Luke goes P2. Now J-Luke was called into the press conference last week, and I'm trying to find out if he's actually had a response. I don't think he has had a response to the the conference. I will have to have a look. But yeah, actually no, yes he has. I'm just trying to look at this spreadsheet that Luke has sent me. Thanks to Luke for sending me that spreadsheet, because I haven't done any prep at all for this. He's had poor performance, but he's hoping the only way is up, which is a good attitude to have. But he's looking confident at the moment in P2, and he prefers the dry. And from the chat, looking at the chat and Twitter, he's hoping to take the challenge to the Mercedes already, but the only way is up for him.
That's the gauntlet there.
Yep, indeed. It's Manzi as well. Jimbo Manzi making his debut at One Hub Racing this week. he couldn't make last week, and he has done a few practice and a few race runs, but he needs to understand how the car handles in the wet. Hopefully it doesn't wet like we've seen last week. It is, I think it's been dry for most of the races so far tonight, so hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, you would hope so. It's really not the best track to have rain on because it's so greasy and it's very, very difficult at that point. It's like a never-ending crossover point, and it's really nigh on impossible in places. But yeah, let's hope it stays nice and dry with very clear skies.
Yeah, and I just need to get one other spreadsheet up because I forgot to get the track info up as well. But yeah, the softs don't tend to last quite long around here, as far as I'm aware, which means, because I was watching the prospect tier, well, your tier that you were racing in, and a lot of people pitted for the softs quite early to go on to a set of the medium tyres, but there was a few people that did soft mediums, and that really hindered them towards the end of the race. And the softs can only last about up to 9 laps, which is more than China, but only by a couple of laps or so. So if I was them, I would get out the softs pretty quickly.
Yeah, they definitely don't go as long as you might want them to, but unfortunately at some point we have to run them, so yeah, it was a gamble for some of us, as you may have seen earlier. It just didn't work out for some of us, and some of us had a good race, but yeah, that was then, but this is now, and I'm sure these guys will have it all covered.
Yeah, 4 minutes left to go of the session, and it is a Mercedes 1-2 at the moment, just like we're getting in real life. Real life, obviously, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, the 44, the 77. We don't have those numbers on the cars anymore. Obviously, the patches are taken away that, which is good. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Next Level Racing, which we'll go for more information about in a minute. And you can actually win a wheel stand if By the Going Gets Tough award. But I'm sure Matt will go through a lot more detail about that later on, maybe in the formation lap as well, which should be interesting. And so far, quite a few people are out of that running because they forgot to fill in a few pre-race interviews. So that is a shame. But yeah, and at the moment, the criteria for it is if you don't even have to finish, as long as you attend and complete your media day stuff, you should be absolutely fine with that. As J. Luke, I think, is going on his outlap. Lukey and Haddon is going into the pits right now. It's very important, Matt, that they don't leave it too late to go out of the pit box, as obviously the pit entry is quite long, and really, if you're still out right now, it is cutting it.
Yeah, it is a long pit lane, and it's quite slow as well. It's slower here because of the narrow nature of it. But yeah, I think if you're about to go out, you're fine. But if you're out now, you know, it's probably now or never for a lot of people. But we'll see. Maybe they've got some sort of timing down that we can't see from here, but they are pushing it.
Yeah, they are cutting it. I'm a bit, Lukey, I think, he's cutting so many corners right now just to try and get in to the pit lane in time. I doubt it, but
Ferraris are just coming out. They're fine.
Yeah, Ferrari's just come out, so they're fine. Yep, as well. And pole time I'm expecting tonight is roughly around about 1:27.3, I think, for precision. Obviously, this is the closest here I've seen. I'm actually really delighted that I'm getting to do this, even though I got literally called within minutes of the lobby starting. So, I can't wait for this. And, based on the grid so far, obviously Dane Start, the winner of last week, only in P4, but only a few tenths behind the race lead, the pole sitter at the moment. So it only just takes one small mistake for these guys, especially around turn 10, and then they've dropped it down to P8, P9, or even P10 perhaps. So something to watch out for. What is the difficult corners, do you think, around this circuit? Because you have raced here, obviously, in Prospect earlier. What do you find the most tricky when you were going around this Paul Ricard circuit?
Sometimes I'm a little early into 6, so that's tricky for me personally. It's not one of the most difficult ones, but I always I'm thinking too much about the next corner, and I always forget where I am on the track, so I'm always a bit too wide or narrow. So that one's tricky for me. But then you've got the one after the high speed right hander after this chicane and the second part of the straight as well. You have to have the right turning angle, and sometimes I was a little bit narrow on that, so he's pushing me wider, which is losing me time where I can't really afford to lose it. So yeah, there's a few.
Indeed. Now, just the full name of this circuit is actually Le Castellet, and the first race was a few years ago, and the lap record around here was set by Sebastian Vettel. The race won 132.740. There's 15 corners, 6 to the left and 9 to the right. And obviously the second highest tyre compound is available for today. We've got 2 race winners actually, or previous one-up race winners at Paul Ricard on this very track at the moment. Eva Hannon and Janel. Eva Hannon has retired, so we can't take any further part. And qualifying session is just about to head off as Ollie Flavel is about to proceed to do his final lap. That was good timing for Ollie. Sam has invalidated. That's not good for him as well. Ouch. So is Scopefielder, last week's driver of the day. One of the driver of the day nominations. So that's a shame. Dane Star is still going. Purple sector 1. That is really good so far. To be honest, Janel had the fastest purple sector originally. Wow, look at this. Khalifa and Janel, they're giving each other slipstreams. That's the first I've seen in one hub in a while. That is good teamwork. That is good teamwork. And they've obviously, Janel getting good stats, getting the Mercedes unit. He wanted Khalifa and he's got him. A few other people have retired as well. I'm just seeing who's about to cross the line. Well, Kian's about to cross the line, actually. Yeah, we've got Kian as well. What can he do? It is going to be no time improvement. We've got Khalifa and Janel about to finish. I'm not sure who's actually going to finish a lap, Khalifa or Janel. J-Luke's gone into the pit, so he can't improve. We've got Janel here. What's he going to do across the line? Can he get pole? Dane Star gets pole. And now Janel gets pole. Wow. So for a second it was Dane Star and then it was Janel. 127.1. He's got my predictions way out the window. That is insane for Dane Star. Ollie is going slow. He's running out of fuel, so we can't improve on his lap time.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yep, that's it. Pole for Janel. Dane Star splits the Mercedes.
Yeah, he does split the Mercedes. It was going to be a Mercedes 1-2 there, but I think it looked like Khalifa was giving Janel the toe there, but, you know, sometimes you may have to fling wingman to your teammate, but based on those 2 guys tonight, they don't want to do that right now, and they could be on for a good points finish. Mercedes are actually winning the constructors battle at the moment with 31 points, but let's go through the order. Janel on pole, 3 temps separating between himself and Dane Star. Khalifa in 3rd, J-Luke in P4, Scopefielder in 5th, and we got Jimbo in 6th, Sam in 7th, and we got Ollie, Janel, Mr. Simp rounding up your top 10. And we got Kian Schnitzel, Lawrence, Eva Hannon, Lukey, and Kajman, I think that's how you say it, in last place. Now,
close enough for me.
Yeah, J-Luke said the only way is up, and he expected to be a very close qualifying. He probably wasn't expecting to be in 4th place.
Yeah. 3 tenths from pole to 2nd as well. That was a lap. Of a lifetime for him, I think. There, yeah.
Only one. You know, that is insane if you think about it. I mean, I hope it's close in the race, but just watch out for the DRS trains between turn 7. Well, between turn 7 and 8. That's going to be extremely crucial. And it looks like we're going to have another dry race again. No rain to be seen. Excellent. And I think position tier drivers have probably prayed for the sun to come out tonight, and it has. Just like your race earlier on. So it's kind of a replica of the weather there as well. Don't forget, we've got the Taz system working. The bot. So if you want to do exclamation mark help, you can get all the lovely commands up, and you could find out the best lap from people, where they started, and also check penalties. So just like us, you can see what is going on. So just looking at sector times here, Dane Star set in purple set to 1, Janel's purple set to 2, and Khalifa purple set to 3. So the top 3 are faster than each sector. No one had the fastest sector overall to get fastest lap. Obviously, Janel had the glory there. Oh, Schnitzel, Janel, and I didn't see who was ticked first, but it was before
I believe it was J-Luke.
It was J-Luke, so we will be getting a time penalty. I'm just actually checking to see if everyone is enabled.
Looks like it was J-Luke.
I'm not entirely sure, but we'll look back at the stream pretty soon. Looks like everyone has enabled their telemetry, which is good, and no one has got anything wrong, so no penalties for that, which is good news there.
Yeah, so, very good. There's no naughty engines yet, but I'm sure we'll get one at some point.
And looking at the tyres though, Matt, only one person has opted for the medium compounded tyres, so are they thinking potentially early safety car, or are they thinking they just want to get the softs out of the way?
I think if you're outside the top 10, you've got to be hoping for an early safety car, because that's what I was doing earlier. That's why I ran the softs first, but it didn't work out for me there. But yeah, pretty sure anyone from Schnitzel down, Lawrence, Ivan and Lukey thinking early safety car. But Kian, he had pace last week. It's a different track, but I'm sure he can be up there as well. So maybe he's gone for the super start strategy and hope he can make some positions, and then we'll see what happens later in the race.
Well, the likes of Lawrence, Schnitzel actually got a point actually for fastest lap, but Luke, or the likes of Luke, Key, Lawrence, Sam, Don DeBoe's not here tonight, I believe, he couldn't make it, and Sippy, Mr. Simp, those are the drivers that have got 0 points right now. They've got a point to prove. Obviously, we knew what the drivers could do in the wet. It's a bit unpredictable, but in the dries, this is where we get to see people's true pace out here on the circuit. And we could see the early doors, the early leaders start to shine through. But we never know how close it will be in this tier so far. But I'm going to throw you under on the spot, Matt. Who is your top 3 for the win, for the race then?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see any of them. But I mean, Ivan could be up there, As you said earlier, he's the podium champion from last season. Dane Star would be looking to prove a point. Khalifa's quick on his day. Janel, as well. Schofield had a great race last week, so any of them will be up there, I think. But I'm going to say Khalifa's going to win tonight.
Oh, nice. So I'm going to say Janel, because I think Janel has got a point to prove. Janel wants to win. He got P2. He's a big rivalry with Dane Star. They're 1 and 2 on the grid. This will shape up to be the biggest rivalry ever. Anyway, the 5 red lights are on here at Paul Ricard for the position tier tonight. And it is lights out. And away we go. And Janel's got a very good start off of Dane Star. We've got a few ghosts, unfortunately. So we're not going to see that many things happening. Hopefully it won't happen to people on screen. They're all making past 10-1-1. The Renault has got a really good start. As well, the AlphaTauri, the Haas is doing a good job too. We got some yellow flags already.
Kian's
Who's that? That is
Kian.
That is not good start for him so far, as he's looking to gain some more points for now. But at the moment, it's Janel that leads. Dane Star in second. And it looks like Khalifa is having a battle with one of the AlphaTauri. Yes, he is going side by side, going into turn 8. No, it's not one of the AlphaTauri, it's one of the Haases. Now the AlphaTauri trying to go in as well. Khalifa losing a bit of pace here. It's going to be 3 wide almost going into turn 8. J-Luke with a brilliant move up into P3. Khalifa losing out there. He's going to get to the right-hand side, going a little bit of a slide there. That's not good, but brilliant start for him. But let's see what Khalifa can do going into turn 10. He's getting the bare exit speed right now. You can see Scopefield are really trying to catch up on these guys. But wow, the top 5 are shaping up to be quite close at the moment as Dane Star is challenging Janel for the lead.
Yeah, there's 2 people with broken wings down there, Ivan and Cashman. So they'll probably be in to put on the hards, I guess, at this point, and then make another stop later on for softs, presumably. But yeah, there's 2 broken wings. Actually, there's 2 more, Sam and Mr. Simp also. So expect there to be a party in the pit lane very shortly.
Cashman's got damage as well, 38% on the front left. So, yep, he has to go in as well. Sam's got a bit of damage as well, so he must have picked something up. But meanwhile, still 110 between Janel and Dane Star. About 1 temp, 2 temps between Scopefield and Jaylo and Khalifa. But just look at that train as well. Already some of the tyre life is starting to come up pretty quickly. Oh, he's round. Jonas, oh no. Has he spun, that's turn 4 and 5. And
I think he lost it by himself.
It looks like he's doing a bit of no rules at France by the looks of things, the way he took that corner.
Well, you know, I'm not going to get into that because I had way too many penalties for my liking tonight, so
yeah.
I can't pass comment, but naughty engine, pack it in.
Yeah, naughty engine as well. So some people only have minor damage though, so I think Sam could potentially stay out. The top 6 though, well, top 7, no damage whatsoever. As Dane Star is trying to look for the right-hand side here. He's going to potentially get a bit of an understeer from both of them, actually. Janel goes off the circuit as the pit stop strategy is coming on my screen right now. A bit of a lock-up from Dane Star, but DRS will be enabled pretty soon, but not quite yet as a detection point. I don't know how they're not trying to make contact. This is absolutely sensational as Lawrence has gone round as well from P13 right now. Dane Star getting the better traction here, going towards the start-finish straight then. Is he going to use the overtake? He's got plenty of it. We'll see as he set the fastest lap of the race. So far, Janel defending for his life there. Just look at it. He is knowing where Dane Star is, and the advantage is Dane Star and Janel have raced before, so they know their racecraft, and it's definitely helping Janel here today to defend for his life. But you can see the way these top 2 are battling. J-Luke is catching up, and that's really going to help.
Yeah, he's taking Schofield with him as well because he's right behind him. I think Khalifa's got a good view of him as well.
And Jimbo and Ollie.
Oh, yeah.
So
I didn't even realise the 7.
Battle for the lead. DRS enabled for Dane Star. Dane Star gets the lead. Already shows how Dane Star, the DRS is OP on this game around France. But obviously, Janel didn't have the DRS there. But Janel can still get him. So far as well, misses him getting the first 3 second time penalty of the race. Kajaman getting a 3 second time penalty as well. We got another yellow flag. I think that's one of the Ferraris or the Alfa Romeos. It'll be interesting to see, of course. And this is where the pit window will open up pretty soon. For some people will be opting to go on to either the mediums, or most likely go on to the mediums. And speaking of which, Dane Star is in the pits. That's good timing.
Right on cue. Janel follows him, as does Khalifa.
Yep, Janel's staying out,
Khalifa
of course.
tried the undercut last week, and it worked a treat for him, so he could be trying it again. But it is very early, even for him. So it's definitely some sort of undercut attempt here from the top 3.
Well, yeah, like he said, I think Khalifa wanted to stick to what he know, and I think he got held up, by one of the Hasses. Just a little bit, so hopefully that hasn't costed him. Yeah, so hopefully that hasn't costed him there, but to be honest, I wonder if you're similar on pace, I wonder what you would be doing on strategy. Luckily, I think Janel probably knew Khalifa's undercut strategy worked last week, so that's why Janel opted to stay an extra lap as well. But you can see the gap between Janel and Scopefielder has increased quite a bit, actually. So maybe the benefit for Scopefielder staying out has really helped him as well. So maybe Scopefielder could be on the back of Khalifa pretty soon as well, and potentially J-Luke.
Yeah, it's going to remain to be seen who gets the better outlap, and see people in front who stayed out, how long they can go, and see if they get, held up because their tyres just give up. Very fascinating stuff at the moment.
It is fascinating as well, as we got another yellow flag once again, but we will double check that in a minute. Meanwhile, Ollie doing very well in P4 with Jimbo as well. Obviously, those guys still yet to pit for their first stops. Janel goes into the pits. What about Scopefielder?
Yeah. And Jimbo is as well, yeah. Oh, Jimbo Manzi speeding in the pit lane. That's a naughty engine right there. Oh dear.
There he goes then. That is a bit of a shame for Jimbo Manzi, but he can find that time. We have to serve it during the pit stop. Luke and Eva Hannon staying out on those soft tyres. Let's watch Dane Star, the leading bunch of these guys, seeing if they could go ahead I'm sure it's going to be close, I think, between the pair of them. Dainstar is ahead, so the undercut has worked. And
just about.
Jaylu gets ahead of Janel. So the undercuts worked brilliantly for Jaylu, not quite for Khalifa, but I don't think Khalifa would have minded that much because he's still got his teammate right ahead of him, and they're probably working team strategy. So I think he'll be all right with that. But he would have rather wanted to be ahead of his teammate. But we've got a nice battle happening up ahead. But Dainstar's gonna like that battle. That undercuts worked to perfection for Dainstar. 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, I thought it was a little early to try the undercut, and it turns out that was the case. But even so, Khalifa's pretty gentle on his ties as well, so it won't matter too much. But yeah, it's definitely advantage channel at the moment.
Yep, indeed.
Yellow.
Yellow for we got
like
yellow
Mr. Sims had
flag.
an incident. He's going very slowly, and is he broken his wing? He's broken the signs at the side of the track.
Yeah, it looks like it, actually. A few other people have broken that as well.
Yeah, he's definitely broken. 100% damage. He's yeah, okay then. Yeah. That's naughty engine. Lukey and Evahan are in.
I think Mr. Sim will have to go into the pits. He's losing a bit of his wing, and he's struggling on rear downforce as well, and the front too, so...
I mean, he's going to struggle if you don't even bother to try and slow down for the chicane. Yeah, he's having a nightmare right now.
I'm sure his penalty may get removed. We'll have to...
Nope.
Nope, it won't.
It shouldn't be. He didn't even slow down.
No, it won't. So, and don't forget, these guys will have to make a mandatory to stop. And let me just get the stops up on my screen. Everyone has stopped apart from Jonas on their one stop. I'm sure Mr. Sim will probably have to go again, but then he won't have to pit again. If I was Mr. Sim, maybe going on the hards may be the best strategy right now, as we've got a few people getting DRS. We've got Ollie on Jimbo. This could be quite interesting, actually. Yellow flag again set to 3. That's probably Mr. Sim, potentially. I'm not...
No, he's not gone in. Interesting.
It was a Red Bull, actually. But it was hard to see what Red Bull it was. Here comes Ollie. Ollie with a brilliant move. He got it before the corner. So here comes Ollie then. Ollie's up into 7th place. The gap was 3 tenths. And then Ollie just swooped past. And that was an easy job for him. P7. Well, good job as well. Nice rivalry there. Manzi doing a great job as well in P8. Potentially could get his first point of the season. He'll be pretty chuffed with it. Like, I had obviously no expectation for him going into this race, because obviously he didn't race at one hub before. But so far, you want to score points on your debut, and he's just doing that. So great job.
Yeah, solid job so far, and Jonas pits now. So that would be Dainstar back into the lead. And now, as everyone has done, stop.
Yep, Jonas goes into the pits. What tyres he's going to go on, that remains to be seen. Everyone that pitted has opted for the medium. So I think it's the first time I've seen in position that everyone's going for a sort of similar strategy in terms of tyres, which, you know, they probably learned from the other 2 tiers not to do soft medium, because there's no way you'll be able to keep the pace until the end, as Sam gets a 3-second time penalty. No VSCs or safety cars at the moment. Update on penalties, actually. If I actually can't remember how you check penalties on this. Oh, there we go. As Mr. Sim has got 16 seconds, and I don't think he's updated on everybody else's screen. So hopefully it will update soon. I'm sure a lot of people.
Post on that, but I can go through manually if you want, just because that's taking the time to update. I'll just check the leaders.
It's fine. I'm not surprised. Mr. Sim has retired, and he broke his right wing going into the pit lane. So I think he binned it.
Oh dear.
So I didn't see that, but it says on the TAS system his right wing was just out of there. So very unfortunate, of course. But there we go. He's got to live and learn. Hopefully next week, I believe. That is his second retirement. So I'm not sure.
He's 1 warning away from a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, a few other people are doing that as well.
Jim on Manzi's got a couple, but everyone else seems to be clean in the top 6.
Squeaky clean as well, and we've seen in your race, penalties could decide position in the race and could decide points as well. So France is hard to obviously try and not corner cut, but which places should people avoid to not extend, really?
The majority is going to be turn 1.
Yeah, and that's what I would think as well. Turn 1 maybe, and maybe turn 10 as well, where I've seen quite a few people cut a few corners in my time. But there we go, as we're almost at the halfway stage of this race. Meanwhile, Khalifa and J-Luke into turn 8. Khalifa gets past J-Luke on the inside, and there you go, there's a Hulk, see you later, up to P3 as well. Podium spot for him as well, and obviously J-Luke has got Scopefielder, Ollie and Jimbo chasing him down as well, so J-Luke's going to hope he can close into Khalifa very soon as well. Khalifa almost out of DRS range of Janel, so he's going to hope he can close in so he can get his bit of slipstream teamwork going on there. But, you know, so far his advantage Dane style 1.5 seconds, and probably the most close. It's not been that dominant like we've seen in the other tiers tonight, where most of the race have been dominant. I've seen a lock up from one of the Mercedes. I think that was Janel. That could get Khalifa's gained a 10th there.
Yeah, he has gained a 10th, but it doesn't really look like it on the cameras, does it? Still looks far away, but it's not really, but it looks further than it is.
Yep, it is, and everyone has been in there for almost 3 to 5 laps now on these tyres, and they could go on for quite a bit as well. Don't forget, these tyres can last 14 laps of this race, so for some of the ones that pitted early, they may opt for a different strategy. They may try and do a bit of short shifting on the gears, potentially to try and save their tyre life. That's what I've seen a few people do in Bahrain, and they've gone to 80% tyre wear and still managed to get to the end of the race. So it's doable. It's doable. But France, it could be a little bit of an issue going there. So we can see battles happening in the midfield as well, with Lukey and Sam as well. Lukey catching up about 7 tenths to Sam right now. I think Lukey gaining a bit on the corners there as well. Let's see if he can gain a bit towards turn 9 and 10 going into the straight line, because then he could gain some time going into the final sectors. Final sectors where quite a few people would be gaining time. So Lukey aiming to score his first point of the season. So is Sam, of course. But I think Sam will be alright where he is right now, because Sam is in the second top tier. It's not where we was not where I was expecting him to be, of course. Obviously, he's been bottom tier in season 14 and position season 15, but technically he's a few steps up from that, as Lukey's gained quite a bit of an advantage there. I'm looking forward to seeing this valve develop, Matt.
Yeah, me too, and it won't be the only one that we see develop in the next few laps. Jimbo Bansi's catching. Oh well, I say it and he's off the track. Never mind.
Who was that?
Forget that. Commentator's curse for Jimbo Manzi.
Yeah, Jimbo Manzi. Yep, your first commentator's curse of the stream. Well, you're not a one hub commentator if you do that.
Well, you know, it was overdue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is overdue. But anyway,
I had a good week last week, but sorry in advance for next week. Anyway, back to now.
Yeah, back to now and back to the present, of course, as Jimbo Manzi. He's now under pressure from Sam and Lukey after them at stake. So we could see a 3-car battle, which could help Sam get some DRS. So Sam must be loving that he's going to get some slipstream from the car in front. That's going to make Lukey find it a bit harder to overtake.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. DRS is also very effective to defend, as I found out earlier. I just couldn't catch the guy in front because he had it to defend for me, so yeah, it's cool.
Kajaman's out. Where was that? Oh, safety car.
Oh, hello there.
I did see a McLaren pit. Who was that? That was Ollie. So
Ollie, yeah.
That was good timing
great
for
timing,
him.
Yeah, lucky timing in a way, but Jimbo Mance is in as well.
If I was Ollie and if I was Jimbo, hards.
Oh, Lawrence.
That will go to the end. Lawrence getting a penalty. And Ollie does exactly that. He's right on cue. So
yeah, there you go. See.
And Jimbo serving his penalty.
Now. Yeah, Lawrence, you're having a shocker there, son.
Yep, he is. Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Serving a few laps. Yep, he's serving his penalty and he's going on the hards as well. For the top 5, I will be scared right now, but maybe the buffer will be there, but we'll have to wait and see, because the ones from P7 downwards, they don't have to pit again, except, Hainan, he's on the mediums. If I do some maths, I'm trying to do some maths here.
That's pushing it.
That is pushing it. 14 laps on the mediums, it's this tyre life. He'll have to pit again to avoid having a puncture.
Yeah. Maybe he's planning on going the fastest lap outside top 10 later in the race, because that'll give him the pit stop that he's going to use. But, oh well, we'll see. It's only lap 11. So there's still plenty of race to go.
Now, I've been thinking about safety cars, actually, in terms of the way it develops and stuff, and the mentality as well. It must be hard as a driver preparing for these types of things, deciding for your gut feeling, really, because if it comes out too late, obviously you have to stay out and worry about the guys in front not having to make another stop. But when it's about to come out and you're near the pit lane, you've got to think on your feet, really, about what tyres. So maybe either Hannon didn't think on his, didn't have a long time to think about it, because it was just like, right, just choose tyres, really. As Dane started pitting, wow! Jano has been disqualified. That's probably a glitch, I think.
Yeah, he's in the pit lane, so that's weird. Yeah,
that is
glitch.
Weird. I don't think it's happened on TAS.
No, he's still going. He's fine.
Oh, that's happened on the last game as well. That's happened on the last game as well. Cody's, that is not good.
Multi-programmers.
Yep. So I'm intrigued why they've gone. I thought they would have gone to the soft to the end, but I'm guessing they will lose so much more time if they pitted later on. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think maybe Everhan just doesn't like the hards. Maybe that's why he's gone mediums. Because they'd be good till lap about 20, and then people on fresh mediums just eat them up every lap. So maybe he's just thinking the long game here. But while we have a few moments, we should probably mention our sponsors. Been a hectic start, so we didn't get to, but
I'll let you do that, Matt.
Earlier, we've got a next level rated wheel stand for the winner of the Going Get Stuff award, and also our other sponsor is Liam13, who had a better race than me earlier, and you could see his point of view every week at twitch.tv/Liam13.
There we go, and also Liam providing our trophies as well to the top 3 for the drivers, top 3 for the constructors as well. So,
thank you to your sponsors.
Yeah, we're not going to say how much he does. Oh, that was quick. Safety car in this lap. A lot of drivers caught up to the field then. So Schofielder is in a prime seat for this. Schofielder and Jonas, the only drivers yet to make their final stop. So,
yeah.
And don't forget, in this very tier last season, there was the one person that forgot his stop. That was Carlsbury. Hopefully history doesn't repeat itself in this tier tonight.
Yeah, let's hope not. But we'll see. I don't think it will. But, yeah, Carlsbury, I think, was the first last season. Then we had another one in podium, which got me a point last season. So, thanks for that.
We'll have to wait and see, of course. Don't forget you can check out Pinnacle Tier. That's happening right now as well. You can have both streams on at the same time as they're starting qualifying. But meanwhile, let's go into the safety car restart. As Schofield has got a really good start off the line. Jonas as well caught napping. But Ollie, I think, has been caught napping even more. As we do have yellow flags. Probably people moving out of the way, surely. That's for sure. Luckily, everyone's on the same lap, so no ghosts needed as well, which is great to see. As Kajman has just left the session, and which is normal to be expected so far. So the ones that are taking those tyres to the end, they're going to hope the guys on the mediums will be struggling, as they could be on the box seat to actually score some decent points. As Jano has got his first penalty of the session. That can change quite a bit as well. But here comes Jano and Danestar. Jano getting the move on Danestar into turn 7. No, turn 6 actually. Now we're going towards turn 7. Don't forget, no DRS enabled until we get to a few laps after the safety car. So that's why Danestar can't get past yet.
Lap 15, I believe. But I've noticed Daystar's on the hards and the two Mercs on the mediums, and J-Luke is also on the hards, so it's going to be a fascinating battle. Give it 10 laps, you're going to see the advantage probably swing more towards the medium runners, but the hards have the advantage for now.
Yeah, I think so as well. So could we see Ollie take his first win?
I was about to say, can we see Ollie capitalise on this and take the win from here? I don't know, but like you say,
precision tier is where we
need to pit still. So Ollie's definitely in the box seat and prime position. Sam also behind him, as is Lukey. So yeah, this is fascinating. This is shaping up to be a fascinating race. If I could get my words out. Oh, dear me.
Yeah, last week's race was fantastic to watch for these guys because of the strategy and the race changing everything. Now the safety car changing everything. I mean, you know, what can you do? You know, like surely these races just get better and better every week. I mean, compared to what we've seen in season 14 in Precision Tier, the driving standards is a lot cleaner, I've got to say, than previous seasons. I mean, they're doing so much better. The driving standards are a lot higher as well. We've got Jonas struggling on those mediums. Ollie is catching up like a prancing horse right now. This could be the fact where the hards could take advantage. Jane Star also with a penalty. I'm not sure about Khalifa. Khalifa's dropped a bit from Lawrence, and I think he had an off, I think. Yeah, I think he had a bit of an off there, I'm sure. Or maybe Lawrence and Kian were a bit faster, I don't know. We shall see.
It's weird. We'll find out shortly, but yeah, I was about to say, I think if I were Jonas, I'd probably box this lap, because the tyres, he seems to be struggling on the tyres. So you might as well just try and get the undercut on the go opposite to the guy in front, but he hasn't done that. As Scottfield locks up into the final corner.
Yeah, that's not good for his tyres, I've got to say. There's almost a bit of lock-up going on at the back as well, as DRS is enabled. Lawrence in the pit, so he gets his stop out the way.
To the back, unfortunately, but he'll be in contention in a moment. He's only done 3 laps on the hards. That's interesting. Maybe like Eva Allen doesn't like the hards. Or has he got a drive-through or something?
He might do. I don't know.
I think he's just got a drive-through there for the speeding under the safety car.
Let me check Taz.
I think that's what's happened there.
Does it say on Taz? No, it doesn't.
No.
So that is hard to tell as well. So
hang on, it said Khalifa had a drive-through. That's interesting.
So Lawrence and Khalifa have a drive-through. Khalifa will have to serve in the next few laps then. Meanwhile, Lukey's made a stonking move on Sam going towards turn 8. That was fantastic. Obviously, he had DRS. And we got Kian and Jano as well. Jano's going to make a move even after DRS then. So who said you can't overtake here? Jano said, oh yes you can. Going through to turn 10. Almost an understeering moment. It's almost going to be 4 wide as well.
4 wide is really not recommended, but fair enough.
Yep, indeed. I mean, these guys are doing ever so well so far. Just keep it out there. We've got Kim right in the middle of this sandwich, and if I was Khalifa, I would not want to be there. Neither J-Luke as well. Just move out the way potentially, because obviously Kian is a bit slower, but you know, this field is a little bit closer, so we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Ollie comfortably gets past Jonas into the final corner.
Yeah, it's...
I have just lost connection to the PlayStation. That is very weird there. I apologise. I don't know what's happened now. I'll need another invite, surely. As we are getting issues. Hopefully I'll see if I can join the session. Can you hear me now, Matt?
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, that is very weird. Can you just send me an invite? Because I was having issues. I just lost connection to PSN for a minute there. It was very, very weird. But, yeah, I can see what's going on with Taz at the moment. Hopefully you're still in, so I can see what's going on there. Interestingly enough, Ollie set the fastest set to 1 right now, so he's going even quicker. And he set the fastest 1:32.6. I believe that's the fastest lap of the race. 1:32.1 is best lap, so he's doing quite well at the moment.
But no, for Everhanen still has. I'll keep calling him Everhanen because it's what I'm used to. But I'll get it right one day. But
I don't know.
That guy I've just mentioned, quickest sector 2.
I don't have any spare. I can't see anyone. I can't see any spare invites.
Hang on.
I don't have any spare invites. So just hold on a second, guys. Luckily, the stream's still going, because if I was streaming live on PS4, the stream would have been dead, just like Prospect last week. I think it kind of what happened to Sam and Dan. I think they got blue screened or something. So that was weird. Tell me when you send an invite, by the way.
Sent one now.
Hopefully. There we go. Let me just... Luckily, spectators can invite people now, so that is good news. Like, without that... Matt would have had to do a bit of a radio AOR, One Hub commentary.
It's going back for a while.
Yeah. But luckily we have the task system, so I can see what's going on. I can see some overtakes as well. Danestar has got past Schnitzel, and Sam has gone past Lukey again by the sound of things as well. So Danestar and Schnitzel looks like having a battle, it seems. Jimbo has gone past Lukey, so is gone to 5th now. So Jimbo doing very, very well as well. So, that is good. I can see what's going on even if I'm not in the screen. So, luckily we're back. Awesome. That is good. That is good. We're back as Jonas goes into the pit lane. Thank goodness I'm not the one sending data to the TAS system. Otherwise, it would have been bugged up or anything. So, Jonas doing his final stop. What would I do if I was Jonas right now?
I'd go another medium set. If he didn't start on mediums, which I don't think he did. So just there you go. New mediums to the end. He'll go 11 on those. Easy.
Yeah, 11 laps for him.
That isn't quite right, but you know what I mean.
That means he can push a little bit more on his tyres, because he can get him up to temperature a bit more, and he has a little bit of a buffer as well. And as you can see, we can see a good train of cars. So Ollie is your net race leader. He's still your race leader. 1.2. Schofield still has to pit. He's one more lap in before he needs to pit right now, because he's in the pit window, cusp of the pit window. Meanwhile, Jimbo tries to get past Sam. A bit of a lock up from Sam going into turn 8, but the DRS zone being so OP as well. Meanwhile, the other Renault, as Lukey has gone off somewhere, as Everhanen has gone past him. We've got Jano coming in out of nowhere as well, up into P6. The race win is still not over on the cards for Jano. He's on fresh and mediums, but I'm worried if he's going to make it to the end. I think it will just about. I'm not entirely sure, but due to the safety car being how long it was, it could still happen. Jano now onto the back of Everhanen. Obviously, champion versus champion, Matt. This could be interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely what you want to see. Champion versus Schofield pits as well. So that releases Ollie, even though he was in front anyway, but that releases Ollie from the pressure into Jimbo Manzi right behind him. But for a second I thought Ollie was going to set the fastest lap of the race, because he seemed to be flying, and I think he did. But
yeah, I'm sure he did. Let me have a look. Let me have a look on. Yeah, he's still got the fastest lap.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's still got the fastest lap.
Down for a second, but yeah.
Everhanen getting a 3-second time penalty. Luckily, the time penalty is starting to update, which is good. So Lawrence has 3 seconds. I know Jano has 3 seconds, but it hasn't updated for some weird reason. So
okay. Let me just
probably Cody's just not like that data sent somewhere, to be honest. So I think Jano and Sam have the same penalty, so they're fighting for position technically. But Sam still right on the back of Jimbo, could potentially get him in there as well. Let me get the gap back to interval again. Meanwhile, Danestar right on the back of Lukey. He's going to do exactly the same as what Jano has done into turn 10, as he's going to probably make a replica move. This is why Danestar is one of the top guys in this league, and he comfortably gets it sent. But you can still see Lukey and Danestar going side by side. It's incredible racing.
Yeah, it is, and it's great to see counter moves going on as well. Like, not just the guy behind taking the lead and driving off. You've got people all down the field fighting with similar kind of moves. As I'm just checking all the penalties here, and yeah, Jimbo has a lot of penalties. So
yes, so he'll be way down the order, unfortunately. He would have wanted a podium, but luckily, the position tier tradition has broken. No one has forgotten to stop, and we can all breathe, and we can go home happy. So no one is disqualified. I believe someone got disqualified in Prospect due to that. I think someone forgot. So hopefully we won't. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. But I think someone almost forgot, but they picked the final lap. I'll need to double check that. But luckily the curse is broken for position. Janel's now looking to go on Sam. He's got the DRS. He's gaining. He wants to gain as many positions as he can, because this could be for P2. This time he doesn't get past him. A bit of a lock-up definitely costed him there.
Yeah, and what you say that there was Lukey having a look down the inside of Khalifa, but couldn't quite make it stick. So Khalifa stays at P7.
Yep, there we go as well. So Janel now getting the move on Sam, the one he was hoping to do sooner or later, and he does it in turn 10, just like he did earlier on. So I think Janel and Danestar like going for risky moves, I've got to say, which is what I like anyway. So a big well done to them, as 5 temps separating between Janel and Jimbo now. Surely it's going to be a comfortable, easy ride for the Mercedes driver to try and get past them, but you never know. It's going to be a gamble with the guys on the medium tyres to try and get it to the end. Danestar and Iberhanen is looking very racy. Danestar again comfortably gets past Iberhanen up into 5th place, and he's now in a Renault sandwich, Matt.
Yeah, it's probably not the best place to be, but you can definitely see him honing in on a possible podium position from there. So definitely not over yet. Stick with us. Schofield sets the fastest lap of the race. That's just going to be for fastest lap outside top 10 at this point.
I've got to say, believe it or not, I've got to say, it is shaping up to be a close race in terms of strategy. I mean, we don't know if any of these tyres are going to live or anything, if we're going to get any punches or something. So, you know, we could see a new race winner. We could see Janel getting a race win again around Paul Ricard. I believe there was 2 race winners. Iberhanen won in podium last season. Janel's won in position. So, you know, they both want to win. Iberhanen may have a less of a chance, but Janel is still within a cusp of taking the race victory today, as he is on the fresher tyres. Let me look at his tyre wear for a second to see how he is doing in terms of tyre wear. Janel's tyres is not looking, it is tight. Yeah. Whereas, let's see, on Iberhanen's tyres are looking a lot better, so is Khalifa. And obviously Schofielder can make it to the end of the race as well. Ollie's tyres is not too bad as well on the hards. Jimbo's is probably a similar nick to the ones on the mediums, probably due to the amount of spins he's had this race.
Yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, even though these tyres are getting old towards the end of the race, I'd still be surprised to see some kind of punch, because there's not much banking or camber or any sort of much abrasion for the tyres. It's pretty flat and smooth around here, so it's definitely more likely to get to the end from here than most tracks, but you never know.
Oh, here comes Danestar on Sam. Here he goes to the right-hand side. It should be easy pickings. Can Sam go defensive for this? Unfortunately, he couldn't.
Oh,
Sam always got a switchback. They made contact. They both made contact. What a shame. What a shame for Danestar. I don't know who to blame here. Luckily, I'm not a steward, so I'm not going to say anything more. But
it's just,
it might be the racing incident.
I don't think there's much in it, to be honest, but we'll let the stewards deal with that if the drivers choose to send it.
Yeah, and let's look at the top 10, separated by 10, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. This is incredible. We got 2 of the Alphas we got the Alpha and the Haas going side by side into the final corner. Let's see if J-Lu can get the inside into the, potentially a little bit of a squirmy. I think Lukey might get the job done.
Went off the track there, yeah, he lost all track because he was off track completely, so I think you have to...
We'll have to wait and see. J-Lu's got DRS. He's going to try and lunge into turn 1.
Not into turn 1, nope.
Nope, he can't do that, not much space at all, so...
Stick behind him and do it down the DRS straight. into the chicane. That would be what I do now. But
Yeah, we'll have
what
to.
do I know? I've been 17th.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself, Matt. Oh, I've lost connection again to the that is annoying. I'll have to join the party once more. And that's a shame because the race was getting very, very exciting for a minute there. So if Matt could check me another invite, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh, you're on it. That is good.
There you go.
That I don't know why it's doing this right now. I think it's PlayStation.
Tell you
What?
PSN doesn't like One Hub tonight, does it?
Maybe. I don't, potentially. So let me just give me a second. That's why I'm glad the TAS system is in order. So just give us a second. Let's see if there's any other overtakes at the moment. So obviously we saw Lukey just got past J-Luke up into 7th place right now as well. Either had enough, that was ages ago. No damage since lap 11, according to Taz. So, keeping it clean.
Interesting. Yeah. Took a while to get going, but once they figured out where the limits were and that stuff, there's very little maneuverability that way. But yeah, I'm just checking all the fastest laps, just in case, like, Schofield jumps inside the top 10. At that point, the fastest lap would then go to Danestar, I believe.
Yeah, Danestar would have been in the shot with the win. This could turn the championship on its head. Janel could be leading this championship because Janel's second.
Looking for softs, presumably, with 3 laps to go.
Right, let me get the tyres. Tyres. There we go, because everyone's made the start. Meanwhile, here comes Janel on Jimbo. I know Janel wouldn't have wanted to make the move anyway, but he's done the move. I wonder if Janel knew about Jimbo's penalties.
Potentially, he would have asked his in-game engineer about that. He would have told him the lower numbers.
Yeah, almost certainly. Like either shut up or come on, tell me about the penalties potentially as well. But the delta's still playing up for me, so I'll need to check Taz for that. So the gaps now separating between the drivers is still massive between the top 6. This is insane. Potentially, don't write out the top 6 for the race victory today.
Yeah, you definitely can't see anyone outside that.
Oh, again, I don't know why it keeps doing this. This is very frustrating. And now I can't join any parties right now. This is the curse of position loot. Yes, it is. This is very annoying that it keeps happening.
Yes, I noticed. Yeah.
We are trying our best, chat, to get, because this race is going to be very close. So
luckily we've only got 3 laps left, so just hang on, PSN.
Hang on,
Have you melt down in about 10 minutes, please?
Yeah, I'm fine if it goes in about 15 minutes, but afterwards that'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just all I've done is I've closed Taz, so you will have to make do with Taz. I think it may be something to do with my internet, so I'll close down all my windows for the time being, just so I can get in it, which is
fair enough.
It is a bit annoying.
Up to 4th now, by the way.
4th place now separating between. So Khalifa, you can get P3 still.
That would be net podium because Jimbo has way too many penalties to stay there.
I think Janel is Janel just on 3 seconds worth of penalties?
Just checking. Red's leader has none, but he is a 1 in a way. Janel has 3 seconds. Jimbo Manzi has at least 6 seconds.
Wow, so that is quite a big gap as well. Meanwhile, J-Luke is going for a move on Lukey again. This is round 3 of this potential battle between these two as well, as J-Luke's going to get some really good points into this as well. 5 tenths separating between J-Luke and Ibahan, and he could still get P5 potentially due to Ibahan's penalties as well. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that as well. On the penultimate lap of this race, Jimbo's still on the back of Janel. Janel Ibrahim and Khalifa's tyres are literally on the cusp of going right this second. If this goes, we could see J-Luke potentially get a podium. So let us know in the chat, guys. Will these tyres make it? According to our statistics, it won't. Ollie is definitely going to get the race victory if he stays there. Janel needs to make sure he keeps his 4 wheels on the track. If he goes anywhere near the blue lines, that's where you lose so much tyre wear. So, what would you do if you're the ones on 14 lap, 15 lap old tyres?
I'd be scared. I'd be like really lifting off throttle a bit earlier and
short shifting maybe.
Down, short shifting, just doing everything I can just to minimise any wheel spin. Oh yeah, I'm sure these guys have it more than handled.
We're on the final lap of this race, but I think we're going to draw our attention to this. This could potentially be a battle for the podium with this 5 or 6 car train. This is just absolutely insane. Honestly, I'm jealous of both you and Luke getting to commentate on this tier every week, because this is incredible. I mean, I'm so glad I've been fitting into this tonight, really. It's J-Luke still on the back of Eva Hannon as well. 6'10" separating between Jembo and Janel. So the tyres, I think the hard tyres are definitely on the tyre to be on right now, but I think Janel has nothing to worry about. All he got to do is make sure he can keep Jimbo behind and no one else behind. Well, maybe he can out Khalifa just a little bit as well.
Lawrence is purple for the 2. He's definitely going for fastest lap outside top 10 here.
Yep, there we go. It goes as well. Schofield, the last week's podium is down in 12th place. Danestar last week's podium series in the top 10, not in the podium. So it's a bit of a shame. But, it's nice to see a mixed up grid, I've got to say. But here we go. Ollie.
Penalties could change it further. Ollie,
the McLaren driver, the number 22.
130.9 for Lawrence.
Ollie, the number 22 driver, who timed his safety car strategy to perfection. It came at just the right time today, and he went on the right tyre, and he deserves it. Ollie comes across the line. He takes the win here in precision. Phenomenal drive for him. Janel once again gets B2, and he hasn't got the win. It's like bridesmaid but never a bride, I've got to say. Jimbo gets the line in P3. Khalifa gets the podium again.
Will take the podium.
I've got Lukey and J-Luke having a battle here as well. Sam's got way too many penalties, so that pushes Lukey up. J-Luke up, Schnitzel up.
Yeah, there you go. Schofield is in the points.
Keep Kiana up as well, and Danestar's left. That is a oh, Danestar's been disqualified.
That's
wow.
I'm not sure why.
I've got to say, I don't know what's happened there,
it can't be for stops, can it?
No, it can't be. Or maybe tyre. Can you check on Taz?
He's made to.
Did it say the reason
why? He's ran every tyre.
Oh, right. Check race director then, quickly, whilst Lawrence...
I did check race director. I don't know what's going on.
It might be penalties, maybe? I don't even know.
Could be. That's the only thing I could think of, because it's definitely not 4 tyres.
As driver of the day on our screen has got to go to Lukey, but you will find out who our driver of the day is, and we get a chance to ask some questions to them in a second. But I obviously know who I'm going to give one of my drivers of the day to, but I'm going to let you choose first in a second as we load into the session. Once the game decides to load, please, into the podium, please. Whilst we do that, we may as well do our we'll do our driver of the day now. We'll let you choose, since you are the co-commentator. Matt, who is your driver of the day, and what is your question?
There's several, and I think I know which way you're leaning, but I am going to go with my pick to win the race, Khalifa. Now, he didn't quite get the win, but that's okay, I'll forgive you. Do you think there's anywhere where the win was lost from you in the early stages, or do you think third is about as good as you could have expected today?
Well, obviously I've got to give my driver of the day to Ollie. I mean, he started 8th, he finished to take the win, he timed the safety car into mod perfection, and my question has got to be, how were you expecting the win today, and how is that momentum gonna carry forward into the rest of the season? And did that safety car help you in any way? So that is my question. So we got Ollie that wins, Janel from Khalifa, from Jimbo, from Lukey, from J-Luke, Schnitzel, Kian, Ivahan, and then Scopefielder round up your top 10. Jonas gets the fastest lap outside the top 10. And we got Sam, Jonas, Lawrence, Kajaman, Sim, and Dane Star. I think Dane Star almost certainly will be classified. Let me check who's got the fastest lap inside the top 10. It was Ollie, I think. No, it wasn't Ollie. It was Scopefielder. There we go. So Scopefielder gets it inside the top 10. Jonas gets it outside the top 10. And well done to them. And don't forget, you can either vote for Khalifa or Ollie for your drivers of the day after the race by going on to, tomorrow on the One Hub Racing Twitter account. And don't forget to check our sponsors, Next Level Racing, where we'll provide stands to the Going Gets Tough Award winners, and Liam 1-3, where you can ride on board with a prospective One Hub Racing driver. And yeah, that has been the position tiers. Sorry about the technical difficulties today. It was so last minute that I had to step in, so apologies that my commentary was not that perfect today, but you know, with preparation it'll be a lot better. But it's been a fantastic race, and I've got to say, I'm looking forward to wherever they're going to be racing next week, Matt.
Yeah, me too. Not sure where the track is. I think it's Belgium or something, right? Is it Belgium?
I should know.
I should know as well. I looked at it like an hour ago, but I forgot.
I should know,
I think it's
but
Belgium, but it's definitely a track with straights and corners, and that much is true.
Yeah. But don't worry, there's one more stream to go with the Pinnacle tier, which is live right now, and they're just on lap 6 of 27, and Compassion is leading in the race right now, so he's had a good start from Gil as well, and obviously a few other people are just pitting as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this race is going to turn out as well. So I've been Jess Games 95, Matt has been Indecisive Mac, and Luke and Matt will see you next week for round number 3 of Position Tier. Have a good evening, goodbye.